A man got up one day, looked at his calendar, and saw that his wife's birthday is coming up next week. In his excitement, he calls his wife and say, "Hey, babe, your birthday is coming up next week. What do you want to do?" She responds, it's just me and you. I really just want to have a quiet time, a relaxed time this year. I don't really want to do anything big. Just a me and you kind of time, just a us time vibe is what I'm going for this year. To which she responds, "Okay, whatever you want to do." On the day of the birthday, he leaves work very early, gets back home, gets dressed, gets his wife dressed as well, and they go out to dinner. Upon getting to the restaurant rather, the wife, realizing, she was excited at first, but then by the time they got to the restaurant, she realized that it's just the two of them.
It's a dinner for two.
It's a dinner for two. And somehow that upset her.
Sets her off.
She immediately turned around and left the restaurant.
Yikes.
It was a very, very quiet drive back home. Upon getting home, the husband says, "What happened?" And she goes, "I was expecting a surprise party at the restaurant."
Wow.
Imagine my surprise when I got there and it was just the two of us. You didn't tell my friends. You didn't tell my coworkers. You didn't tell my siblings. It was just the two of us? Really? Really, Charles?
My guy's confused at this point.
Listen, there are many reasons why most marriages fail these days, from financial issues to infidelity to irreconcilable differences. But the one big reason why they also fail is unspoken and unrealistic expectations. Welcome back to My Darling Bride podcast, powered by Refuge and Fortress Network. It is yours faithfully and sincerely, Pastor Yemi Emmanuel Oludaunsi, also known as PY. And I have with me on today my partner for life, my partner, you know what I mean? Lady Empress, my Empress.
Oh my Lord.
Empress Looney.
Yeah, Empress. You have this word.
Empress. I love that word. I've got my partner with me on today,
Yay.
Mrs. Oludaunsi, my lover, my wife. She's going to be helping us on today's episode because this one is serious. And I'm going to need you, baby. I'm going to need you to really...
First of all.
Yeah, because this is y'all. This is, you know what I mean? So anyways, if you're yet to subscribe, please go ahead and do so now. Also comment and share down below. The Bible says in James chapter 3, verse 2, "For we all stumble in many ways, but if anyone does not stumble in what he says, then he's a perfect man." The truth of the matter is, nobody in this world is perfect. No relationship, no marriage is perfect. Neither is any man or any woman a mind reader. You see, we fail to realize that a simple solution in marriage or relationship is effective communication. I mean, we've talked about that multiple times. We can't stress that enough. Just simply speaking your mind, right? It makes a huge difference in marriages and relationship, right? And sometimes people live in their imagination and they expect that imagination to become reality, which is very good, right? Because faith is the substance of things not seen, evidence of things hoped for, right? So it's good to live in your imagination and want that imagination to become reality, which, again, like we said, in most cases is good. But you have to understand that your imagination lives in your head until and unless it is communicated.
Right.
Most people have an unspoken expectations of their significant other, and then they get disappointed when those expectations are not met. On today, we're going to be playing a video of a lady who asked her husband for something. He got her what she wanted, but it just wasn't enough for her. And that became a problem. Take a listen.
This is going to sound bad, but I would hate when I would tell a guy, like, oh, I really want flowers. And he would only just get me flowers.
Yeah.
I know that sounds bad. I know exactly how it sounds. But in my mind and in my thinking, it's like, I don't want to just tell you exactly what to do. I'm not trying to mother you. I would like the flowers. I'm not saying the flowers is what's wrong, but it's
mother you.
Why couldn't you get me flowers and chocolate? Why couldn't you just go the extra mile to think outside the box rather than just following in my exact footsteps of what I'm telling you that I like?
You know, okay, and that video, by the way, came from WNT Talk on YouTube. Okay, so the first question that I want to ask, lady, you're going to be speaking for a woman at large today because this is interesting. First of all, is this a fair expectation of a man? Hold on. Before I ask that question, given the topic of what we're talking about today, why are women so complicated? Let me just ask that. Maybe you can help us today and shed some light on the complexity of a woman. Why y'all so complicated?
You know, we're not really complicated.
Say with your chest.
We're not really complicated.
You're not really complicated.
Okay, first of all, this is not a good representation. Let me start there. Because she already knew off the bat. The first thing she said is, I know this is going to sound bad. Because she knows she's bugging, right? In the sense of, as women, I feel like, you know what? Hearing it again, I kind of feel like I get what she's trying to say.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's like it doesn't match the scenario, so to say. Like, we want you to go above and beyond when it comes to us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We want you to do the things that we don't even ask for. Come back home and give us flowers. And it's like, oh my God, you got me flowers. I didn't even ask for it. Would that be considered an unspoken expectation? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in this case, it's just makes it more complicated because it's like you asked for one thing. To not appreciate what he did just because he didn't go the extra mile or he didn't get something you didn't ask for. It's not making sense.
It's not, right?
It's not adding up.
But I like what you just said right now, though, because what you just said actually kind of clarified that the issue is not about going an extra mile or not. The issue is about getting what you asked for. Because if it was about going an extra mile, your man should know at any given point in time, without you even having to ask to get you things, to do things for you,
if he knows the kind of person you are.
You know what I mean? If he knows the kind of person you are and things like that, and that would be considered the extra mile. I mean, like yesterday, for example, not to toot my own horn.
I mean, toot it, because it sounds like you want to toot your horn right now.
I mean, it wasn't no flower, but it was.
First of all,
so what happened? So let me tell you. Let me say what happened now. Wait now.
I just want to give a disclaimer
of what.
I don't want this to make it look like I'm such a fat person. Because it was like, it's not no flower.
It ain't no flower.
Wait till you hear what it is.
But here's what happened. I was coming from the office, and as I was driving, I was like, man, listen, I'm about to be home in about 30 minutes to an hour, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming from somewhere. So I'm like, you know what, let me stop by the African market, because my wife over the weekend went to the African market and they didn't have what she wanted. And I just thought to myself, you know what, let me just do a drive-by very quickly and see if they have what she wants. And what did my wife want? My wife wanted Shaki. my wife she ain't want no flowers. She didn't want no chocolate. You know what I mean? She don't want none of that. She wants Shaki.
Oh my God.
Get me Shaki.
I cannot believe
hey, if you don't know Shaki, what is Shaki? Shaki is stripes, right?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
It's stripes. Yes.
Stripe from
it's like
the meat, the
isn't it the tongue? I think
I don't know
the
what
tongue
it
of
is.
the cows. I don't know.
But
it's tripe. You look it up.
Tripe or stripe? What?
Tripe.
Tripe?
Yes.
Is that what? Okay.
Tripe.
It's part of
meat.
It's meat. It's just
it's food.
It's food. That's what my wife wanted, and that's what I got. But the point we were trying to raise here was that I did that without you having to ask.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It was
Exactly.
that was a me going above and beyond what you didn't ask for.
Exactly.
You know, and you didn't have to ask because I knew you wanted it. They didn't have it over the weekend. It was disappointing, but it doesn't
and
change
it's not
the fact
even
that
like
still,
I even brought it up again. I had even
you had even
about
forgotten about it. Exactly. So going above and beyond is not what the issue is.
Right.
The issue is you said one thing.
Exactly.
You asked for one thing.
Right. You got the thing.
And you got the thing.
I have to complain now. God.
So let me just say this. So for some men that are listening right now, you still haven't answered my question, by the way.
How didn't I answer your question?
Why are y'all so complicated?
I said this is not a good representation.
My dear, forget. Hold on now. Hold on. Forget the lady. Forget this example. Forget the clip we just played. Just answer my question in general.
And I told you we're not complicated. I explained to you. I explained to you why you guys think that way.
Why do we think that way?
I'm saying because we have the expectation that you should go above and beyond. So sometimes it might come as if we're being complicated, but that's not the case.
But I know, but when you say you have the expectation that we should go above and beyond, it sounds like you're still talking about this video, because when we talk about women being complicated, it goes from not communicating your expectation to over communicating your expectation to not sharing enough to oversharing to mood swings to multiple different kinds of emotions to the list goes on and yes. The list goes on and on. Women are just complicated in general,
Some
right?
women, not
that's just
all.
the bottom line, right?
Not all.
Okay, let's just say not all. So now let's go back to this
yes,
video.
Go back to the video.
The question I want to ask is this fair? Is this fair? Is this a fair expectation on a man? Show fair.
In my honest opinion, I would say no. Because I just see it as it almost comes off as kind of ungrateful because you asked for something. If you wanted flowers and chocolate, yes, it makes sense. You get flowers, you get chocolate with it. Some people do that, but he might be thinking maybe she doesn't want chocolate, so that's why she didn't ask for it.
Right.
Maybe today she's not craving chocolate, so let me just get her the flowers she wanted. Yeah. So you asked for something and I got you flowers, but for you to sit there and then say, well, why would you only get flowers? It's like, you're not even happy that you just got the flowers. It sounds kind of like an ingrate.
Yeah, because he could have gotten the flower and she would have been like, I didn't ask you for flowers.
Gotten her anything.
He could have gotten the chocolate and she would have been like, I didn't ask you for chocolate.
Exactly.
Why did you get chocolate? I didn't say
I want chocolate. I just wanted flowers.
I don't even like this chocolate. This particular brand you got, I don't even like it.
Now he's doing too much.
Now he's overdone it,
you know? So I think in this specific video, she's tripping.
Now, okay, she did make a point. She said that she felt like she was bugging, but then at the same time she was like, you know what, maybe I'm not, right? Because in her mind she's saying that she believes that her husband should be able to think outside the box, right? To be able to know what she wants. Like if I'm asking you for flowers, you should know me
well enough that I want
flowers and chocolate. I want something to complement that flower, right? And let me, before we even move forward, let me just say this thing here that we're talking about, this unspoken expectation thing, is not just a female trait, right? I've dealt with grown men.
It's definitely not just a
grown men who had a problem with me, right? And when the problem was addressed, I had to find out that the problem he had with me was about something else completely.
Right.
Are you following what I'm saying?
It was an expectation.
It was an uncommunicated expectation, even.
Exactly.
It was almost like, you should just know I expect A, B, C, and D from you. Really but how? We never spoke to that length. We never spoke about anything related. So why should that be an expectation that you should have? Number one. Number two, why should that become a thing that you get emotional about, that you're in your feelings about, that you're upset about? And then when confronted about it, like when confronted and you talk out loud, you know, you sometimes you have something, you have a problem in your mind, but then you speak it out loud, and you
And then
realize, wait a minute, this is not even really
it's
a
not adding
problem.
up. Yeah.
And then what happens? You now find a different issue. You're like, well, the issue is not really this.
It's really that.
It's really that.
Right.
And I just didn't know how to tell you about that. So I made this particular one the issue. My guy.
How am I supposed to know that?
I'm not a,
I can't read your mind.
I am not a mind reader, brother.
And that happens a lot in marriages.
That happens a lot in marriages and relationships.
I mean, look at the scenario we gave in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right? The whole birthday thing. And you know what? That situation it's even funny because it's like, let's say he did go ahead and say, you know what, maybe she would want surprise dinner. And he did surprise dinner. There's some women that will get there and be like,
I told you.
And just get upset and walk out because it's like, I told you I didn't want this.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like, yes, you can say he should know you well enough.
And that goes back to the complexity that I was talking about when it comes to women.
No, a woman initial.
No, because in one breath, you do want what you said you want.
Right.
In another breath, you actually don't want what you know what I'm saying? It's like, when are we as men supposed to know when and when not? Because, for example, in the earlier scenario that we brought up, right, the man who said it's my wife's birthday, I want to take her out to dinner, and it's just them two, they're having an intimate time, a romantic time. She's upset that our friends, our coworkers, or family members are not there, and she's surprised because she was expecting a surprise birthday party, right? If, like you were saying, if he had not done that, that probably would have been a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it goes back to what I was saying about complexity. Like, when are we men supposed to know when you want something and when you don't?
I think
if you don't communicate.
I think that's where the bottom line is, right? We get hung up on the you should know me by now. And to some extent,
is there ever really a you should know me by now?
No, because you know, at the end of the day, in my honest opinion, today, in this day and age, I don't believe there's ever a time where you can know somebody like you're getting to know the person every day because things change. Once upon a time, I used to love celebrating my birthday. I mean, it was a thing. Every birthday is like, I gotta do something. Do you get what I'm saying? Today, what you want to do for your birthday, man? Let's find a movie and like I don't have the interest anymore to go based on the me back then. It's not saying I wouldn't appreciate it, but it's not really my thing anymore. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, you might know somebody to a certain extent, but to be honest, to make your marriage and relationship work, to not get into unnecessarily conflicts, communicate. If this is what you want, say this is what you want. I mean it. And if this is what you want and more, say this is what I want and more.
And then there's a level of complacency too that we have to be careful when we get to that point where, oh, you should know me by now mentality. Because if in fact your spouse does know you by now mentality, that means you're predictable. And the things they should do, they already know. It becomes
they can
mundane.
Be spontaneous.
There's no room for spontaneity.
Exactly.
Am I speaking that?
I think you are.
Yeah.
You're more English, Jamie. I'm with you, babe. You got it.
There's no room to be spontaneous.
Yes.
You know? And so you find a situation where the man becomes complacent and he doesn't try as he should anymore or as he would want to anymore because, like, for example, you don't let him.
Look at what I just said. I'm not into like a whole birthday celebration. Oh, you throw me a party and it's a surprise? I'm gonna be like, wow, thank you. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not something that I really like I'm crazy about, but the fact that you went above and beyond to do that, I would appreciate it. But if you don't do it, I would not have a problem with it.
But that's the issue, right? That's the issue. The issue is where you say above and beyond, right? We don't want to do bare minimum, right? Like, even if you say what I want is a chill night, I don't really want to do anything crazy, even that chill night should still be above and beyond chill night. For example, right? And this is free games for most men that are listening right now. Because to you, if you say above and beyond is throwing you a surprise birthday party and things like that, right? And you put that in the category of above and beyond in comparison to, say, let's chill at home and watch Netflix and just relax in the house, right? It puts the man in a position to think that he's not trying when he submits to what you said you want, which is Netflix and chill, right? Because that word above and beyond says, on the scale of 1 to 10, 10 being above and beyond, what I would want for you to do is throw me a birthday party. But 1 or 2 being the lowest thing you can do is to have a chill night. That's tricky to do because, hold on, that's tricky to do. And the reason why it's tricky to do because you would then make the man feel like if he's not doing what you want on scale number 10, then he's not doing enough, right? When in reality, if we stay on the line of chill, Netflix and chill, there are levels to that too. That if we want to go above and beyond on the scale of on the lane of Netflix and chill, there are things we can do to make that beautiful, to make it a wonderful experience. For example, it would be above and beyond. Like on a normal day, we can sit down in the living room, sit on the couch, have popcorn, and pop on a movie or whatever the case may be, and we're just watching. We're having a good time. We're watching the movie. Now, for your birthday though, when you say that's what I want and that's what I want to do, there are things that I could do to go above and beyond. For example, I could ensure that the kids have a babysitter, or maybe we'll take them to a friend's house, so it's just me and you in the house, number one. Number two, I could bring out our mattress into the living room and have candles on the floor, have roses on the floor, like
set up a whole thing.
Set up a whole situation, chocolates on the bed and things like that, even though we're watching a movie. But I can make the ambience a little bit different and more like, wow, romantic.
Just different,
you know what I'm saying?
Normal.
And that would be above and beyond.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
No, get what I'm saying? Absolutely. Above and beyond varies. It can be any of those things. Above and beyond is more than the normal. That's when you say above and beyond. The reason why I said that in this case of, oh, you told me a surprise party, is it's not something I do anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? So if I say, yeah, I don't really want to do anything for my birthday, we could just chill and hang out. But you felt like, oh, it's my 40th, 50th, whatever the case may be. Let me just do a surprise party. I know she would like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's still qualifies as going above and beyond. Doesn't mean it's separate from if you decide to set up the living room in a more better ambience than us watching a movie on a regular Saturday. Do you get what I'm saying? The bottom line is you did more than the normal that we do on a regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying it's a tricky thing to say to some men because, again, throwing a party is one thing. Somebody else can say above and beyond is getting me a car. Somebody that can say above and beyond is fly care. Oh, Kuku private jets for me. That's above and beyond. Kuku buy the private jets.
Okay.
Since we want to go above and beyond, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, you got it. Let's do it.
But no, that's really so when you talk about, is there a point that a woman should know that your spouse should know the things you want, the things you like without you having to say anything? Yes, there should be a point, but at the same time, we want to be careful so we don't get too complacent. So we don't get to the point where, oh, I know exactly what she wants. I know she would want I know she wants flowers and chocolate, right? I know that's exactly what she wants, and she wants that every Friday, right? It doesn't give enough room for being spontaneous.
Right.
When you say you should know me by now.
And it's not even just that. On the flip side of things too, he should or she should know you by now. But if there's something specific you want, say it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, you should know that I want flowers because I like flowers every other day or whatever the case may be. He knows you well enough by that at that point. Great. But you know what? To this week, I kind of want flowers and chocolate. Say it.
Exactly.
You know, voice.
In other words, what you're saying is communicate your switch up.
Exactly. Communicate the switch off from the expected.
Right.
You expect him to already know this.
Communicate
Great.
the switch up.
If there's more, say it.
Mhm.
Like, speak up.
Mhm.
Like, I just feel like that's where a lot of miscommunication comes in, and then it leads to conflict and arguing.
Mhm.
And you realize there's a lot of unnecessary arguments that can be avoided
Mhm.
if you just talk to each other.
Mhm. Yeah. And okay, so the next question is, should you have expectations at all in marriages and relationships?
I think you should.
Yeah.
I think you should have expectations.
Why you say that?
I think you should manage them. There shouldn't be extreme expectations, because you don't want to have too high of expectation, because at the end of the day, this is still a human being. But I think you should have expectations in terms of like things you want to see, things you hope to have in your marriage and your relationship. I think there's nothing wrong with having expectations. It's just a matter of not overdoing it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Speaking of managing expectations, on Truth
Therapy
Tuesday, I'm going to be dealing with 6 C's on how to manage expectations in relationships. Today, we just want to talk about the complexity of women. Like, why are y'all so complicated? And it's just mind-boggling, right?
It's good to have expectations. There's nothing wrong with that, and it makes sense, because you don't want to just go into anything like, yeah, it is whatever. You could just do anyhow.
Let me ask you
the
this.
Case may be.
Let me ask you this: are expectations based on your level of maturity in marriage?
Are expectations based on your level of maturity? Explain that question.
So, for example, she got in her feelings from the example that we played. She got in her feelings because her husband didn't buy her flowers. I mean, he didn't buy her flowers.
He didn't buy chocolate, right?
Right? It's not just flowers. You should have added chocolate to it and everything like that, right?
Right.
And it could be perceived as a sign of
immaturity,
if you will.
Right,
at the state that she's in or whatever, because I feel like maybe somebody older, and that could just be me, so we could have a 50-something-year-old on here saying, no, I still want that chocolate, I still want the flowers.
I have those,
right?
That mentality.
Yeah, but because, and the reason why I'm saying that is because, let's say, for example, you're in a relationship or in a marriage where your husband travels for work, or he's a C-suite executive or something. He's always in meetings and things like that. When you're in a marriage, whether you're newlywed, like let's say you're newlywed, yes, and that's why I'm talking about maturity in marriage. Because let's say, for example, you're newlywed, there's an expectation that you should call me, you should text me at a certain time. Let me know where you at. Let me know when you're coming back home. Keep me up to date about And if I haven't heard from you in about 2-3 hours, it's like, what happened? Where you been? You know what I mean? Exactly. And trust me, some women they want
people.
Updates.
It's not just women. There's some people like that.
And some men too, right? They want 5 minutes updates, 30 minutes updates, 1 hour updates, and things like that, right?
Yeah.
And to me personally, I feel like it's because of your level of maturity in marriage currently. I feel like there comes a point that you get to in marriage that is not in not just in marriage, in life, even as you grow older, right? There are certain things you just don't trip about anymore, right? I feel like when you're a little older and you've been in marriage longer than most people, just because you didn't call me 5 hours ago does not mean that I'm worried or concerned or I'm upset now because you didn't call me, because you didn't text me.
I get that.
You know what I mean? Like, for the most part, maybe I'll tell you, hey, babe, I'm at the airport. We're taking off now, like, just so you know.
Updates.
Right, important updates, so you're not worried sick about me,
absolutely.
right? Hey, babe, we just landed, right? I'm going to go to the hotel now, and I'm going to do this, that. Now, that may be the last communication you hear from me if I'm not too tired. You know what I'm saying? If I'm tired, rather, because I could just say, I'll be at the hotel, blah, blah, blah. Maybe for example, when I went to New York, right? I left the airport, got my rental, from rental to the hotel, I got to the hotel room, and I was tired. I was done. You know what I mean? I was knocked out. Now, I
Imagine
didn't remember to call you.
Up your
And I
phone.
started blowing my it's like
it would be nice to know you. I mean, you did tell me you got
no,
to the
I
hotel.
did. I told you I was at the
Right.
hotel, and I told you I was gonna call you
Once
when
you
I'm
got in the
settled.
room,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
So you know I'm already
You
I'm
good.
safe. I'm all right.
Right.
But getting into the hotel room, man was just tired. You know what I mean? By the time I grabbed the phone to call you, I was calling
even
myself.
in that case, even if I called one time and you didn't pick up, my first reaction would be like, Otusulo.
Yeah, he's
like,
he's
he slept because I know you're tired.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So I definitely understand your question. Like, yeah, I believe there is. Because you get to a certain point where it's like, number one, you trust each other well enough to not have to do like every 5-minute check. I don't need to know every single thing that you're doing.
Keep a leash on you.
You give me important, you give me important updates and things that matter, absolutely. But it's like, you haven't spoken to me in 30 minutes. Do I not know you're busy? Do you not know I'm busy? Do you not know I'm doing something? Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, I do think
expectations are based on your level of maturity.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
in marriage
at least, right? In marriage, right? So anyway, so on Therapy Tuesday, I'm gonna be dealing with how to manage expectations in relationship. There are 6 C's that I want to share with you on managing expectations in relationship. I don't know if that's gonna come out before this episode of MDB or if it's gonna come out after, but there is gonna be a release on True Therapy Tuesday.
Yes.
Where we're going to talk about this on how to manage,
which is very important.
Expectation.
Managing is very important.
Yep.
All right. So much. This is gonna be. I'm actually looking forward to that because, managing expectations is very, very important. You need to manage. You need to manage. You need to learn how to manage it. Wink, wink. You need to learn how to manage it. No, I'm just messing around. Thank you for that. We're looking forward to Therapy Tuesday. But in case you did not know, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development (HUD) announced that it will provide more than $3.5 billion in the competitive funding to homeless services organizations across the country for supportive services and housing programs for people experiencing homelessness. The competitive funding will be awarded through HUD's Continuum of Care program, the largest source of federal grant funding for homeless services and housing programs serving people experiencing homelessness. HUD is also applying a first-of-its-kind cost of living adjustment to allow the Continuum of Care budgets to better keep up with the rising cost. This will provide additional pay and support for homeless assistance providers and improve overall service delivery for people experiencing homelessness. That's really dope. The deadline to submit this Continuum of Care consolidated application and project application is 8 p.m. Eastern Time, October 30th, 2024. So the deadline to submit that application is October 30th, 2024, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information on this HUD project that they have going on, go to www.hud.gov. This is a blessing, and this will help so many people out on the street, and this is really dope. Yeah, this is really good, especially with the homeless situation going on. The rate of homelessness, especially in the big cities as well.
Yeah, exactly. So actually this is a very, very good information, and people are going to be blessed by this information. If you're listening, please share this with somebody that you know who may need help with housing. Let them know that there's a program out there that Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, is putting in place to help alleviate homelessness in America. All right, thank you for that powerful information. All right, so as you get ready to begin to enjoy your weekend, here is our MDB quote of the week. It goes thus: if you align expectations with reality, you will never be disappointed.
Mm.
If you align expectations with reality, you will never. Can I read that again?
Yes, please.
If you align, there's gotta be alignment between expectation and reality.
Yes.
Talking about unrealistic
Unrealistic
expectations, right? If you align expectation with reality, you will never be disappointed. That's from Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens is the one who said that, and that is a powerful quote right there. Can you imagine expecting a illiterate village girl that you brought to America to help you around the house, uneducated young lady or older lady that you brought to America to help you around the house, which is a very good thing, don't get me wrong. But as part of her help, you want her to write you a 10-page essay. How much?
It doesn't even go.
You say, so when after you're done cleaning, take care of the kids and everything like that, I want you to proofread, open my mail and read it to me. She's gonna be looking at you like, and
this is above my job description.
and then you're upset,
right?
And then you get upset and say, you know what? Maybe we should send you back to your village, don't you, brother?
That ain't what you hired me for.
It's like, if you align expectation with reality,
come on now,
you will never be
realistic
disappointed.
Yes.
Are you hear what I'm saying?
Yes. loud and clear.
Like,
come on now.
Or somebody expecting Stevie Wonder to read the map for them, the GPS for them.
You know what? This is where we end. This is where we end this conversation right now.
Oh, we love Stevie Wonder. God bless that man. But this is where we come to.
This is where we end the conversation right now.
No, we're just talking about
aligning
expectation with reality. You know what the reality is. Let your expectation
make
match
sense. Exactly.
Reality. Make it make sense. Anyway, that's all we have for today. I hope we've shared a tip or two to help solidify your kingdom union, not only with yourself, but also with others, and most importantly with God on today. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. And until next time, be the light, be the salt, and remember, all things are possible
if you
believe. We love you with the love of God. See you on the next one.